Welcome back to Heavy to Hungry podcast. Today we have a special guest. His name is Zach DeMocker. He is one of the personal trainers at ATR Fitness, which is the gym that I train at with my in-person clients. So Zach, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit? Tell us a little bit about yourself before I ask you some questions about your job.
Yeah, so I'm Zach. Like Sally said, we train at the same private gym here in Rochester, New York. I've been a certified trainer since 2016, although I haven't always been a personal trainer per se, working with clients. But I've been certified for almost 10 years now, and my fitness journey started slightly just before that. And yeah, I mean, I grew up playing sports and everything like that. But once I found fitness in about 2015 and got into lifting, that's really been probably the largest aspect in my life.
That's amazing. Yeah. And we'll talk about it more. But what's interesting is that Zach and I come from pretty different starting points. He went from starting off pretty skinny, building lots of muscle, and I went from being super overweight to getting lean. And so we both had completely different journeys in fitness. So that's why I wanted to have him on. So today we're just going to talk about how he got into lifting, right? How that turned into personal training, his own transformation, and some of the lessons he's learned working with clients, right? So first off, you already introduced yourself, so I just want to ask you, some people adopted into a fitness family, a fitness lifestyle. Some people have parents who work out, so it's all some people ever knew. Personally, mine was not like that. My parents never has stepped foot in a gym before. I kind of had to discover it on your own. How was the introduction of your fitness journey like?
Yeah, my introduction was, yeah, but I would say mostly on my own. Neither of my parents really exercised or worked out when I was growing up. I think my dad used to when he was about, my age or younger in his 20s and stuff like that. But throughout my childhood growing up, I never saw him in the gym constantly or consistently or anything like that. Um, we did I did get introduced to strength training in high school when I played football and baseball. So that was, kind of like, I guess, the starting point. I even remember in middle school sometimes we had a weight room in the basement of our middle school that we would go down and use, but
Mm-hmm.
we had no idea what we were doing. We just went there because that's what you did with the
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah.
Um, but when playing high school varsity sports, that was really the first time that we were actually required to be in the gym with the team, with our coaches, doing specific lifts, trying to get stronger, trying to learn proper forms, to work on performance for
Mm-hmm.
athletics. Um, in terms of me actually going full on into fitness as something that I knew was going to be a part of my life for the rest of my life, that came, like I said, around 2015, and it's embarrassing, but it's super common. It was due to um, breaking up with a girl, basically heartbreak.
Yeah. Same here.
It happens so often. Um,
100%.
and so, yeah, I mean, that was just, I found that getting into the gym and working out made me feel better. So at first, I would just go to the gym like twice a day, um, just because for that hour or whatever I was in the gym a couple times a day, like you felt really good. And that kind of took my mind off, the crappy things that I was going through. And then from there, I decided that I loved being in the gym so much that I started to work in a gym, a local gym in Rochester, and just doing a front desk job. I just loved being in the atmosphere and the environment.
Mm-hmm.
From there, then I decided to get my personal training certificate, mostly just so that I could gain knowledge for myself in my own fitness journey because I loved lifting so much, but obviously didn't really know how to do it, what are the best practices, everything like that. So
Yep.
that's where the education part of it came from for me, is just wanting to increase my own level of fitness. And then as you go on, it, it parlayed into, becoming an actual trainer who wanted to work with others one-on-one. That took me a while to gain the confidence to want to do that and give out my knowledge.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've worked in gyms constantly since about 2015.
That's awesome. It's actually a really
Yeah.
cool story. So my fitness journey also started with a heartbreak. So my question to you is, so in sports psychology or in fitness psychology, there's this concept of intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, right?
Mhm.
Usually people's fitness journeys start off with extrinsic motivation, whether it's your parents telling you you have to do this, or it's a heartbreak, or something outside of yourself that gets you in the gym because of pain, adherence, something other than enjoyment. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So in sports psychology, we always want to get the client or the patient or the person you're working with to go from extrinsic motivation to intrinsic motivation, where they go out of the enjoyment of actually lifting the process, not the destination, not the results that they get from it. So
Mhm.
my question to you is, how was that transition from going to the gym in vain because you had your heart broke to, oh shoot, I'm actually starting to enjoy this. Like I'm not just doing this to get jacked. I just like lifting weights. I just like being fit. How was that transition for you, and what advice would you give to people who are stuck in that extrinsic motivation phase?
Uh, well, I've always enjoyed. I think almost more than anything, I've enjoyed the physical results that you can get. But it has been proven over time that I've been in this industry and doing the work myself. It has proven that it benefits and uplifts all aspects of my life. So sometimes that takes a little bit of time. It definitely takes consistency. You have to learn to love it. Um, you can't treat it like a chore. You can't treat it like a checklist thing every single day, um, because to me that means that you're not fully buying in.
Yep.
You're not fully giving yourself the opportunity to experience all the benefits of what exercise and strength training and whatever form of exercise you enjoy. You're not giving yourself the opportunity to fully benefit from it.
Yep.
So even to this day, my favorite aspect of lifting is probably still the physical results. Um,
Fair enough.
but it has improved my life in many ways, just in terms of keeping me routined. Because I think for me personally, routine is very important to me. It helps keep me less stressed. It helps reduce anxiety having a routine. And I think it's just it improves my relationships. It improves temper. It improves I think it improves just about every aspect of your life in some way if you can consistently get yourself in the gym or doing exercise and learn to actually love it and enjoy it rather than just treating it like, oh, this is something I have to do most days out of the week.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, that transition from extrinsic to intrinsic, it's that's when you really get the not just physical results like you were saying, but the psychological, the social, the emotional. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
Literally,
Right.
like you said, every aspect of your life.
Yeah. Your confidence goes up in so many aspects of your life,
Yeah, yeah. The way you carry yourself physically,
Mhm.
but socially as well.
Right.
I know that when before I lifted, I was overweight. I would always have my head down, my shoulders rolled
Hmm.
forward, um, my spine would kind of be curved because people who are insecure kind of want to hide from the world. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, close up your stature.
yeah,
Yeah.
close off so then you can't be judged as much. But lifting, having a consistent fitness routine makes you want to roll your shoulders back and put your head up and show yourself to the world because now you're confident in who you are. So I love the
Right.
message that you gave there. All right, so to pivot the topic a little bit, I want to talk about your personal fitness journey. So you went from being pretty skinny, growing up pretty skinny, to putting on a significant amount of muscle as a natural, might I add.
Yeah.
Um, what did that journey look like for you specifically? Was it hard to gain weight as far as eating more food? Was it hard to gain weight as far as finding a consistent gym routine, finding a split or the actual workouts to do that gave you the results? Well, what was the hardest part, and what did that journey look like?
So my journey was, like you said, I was a pretty skinny kid. I think I graduated high school around 150, 155. So I was not big, I'm about 5'10", just a little over 5'10".
I was
So
double.
150s, yeah, 150s, right? 150s pretty. I would say skinny. You could still have like an athletic looking build, I suppose. But I didn't have the muscle mass that I do now. So it kind of just, for me, I was just a skinny kid. I could eat whatever I wanted. I wasn't going to put on weight. And that continued for a while. Still to this day, I enjoy some of the benefits of that. But in no way could I do what I used to do when I was younger and maintain, the physique that I carry now.
Mhm.
And the hardest part for me when I started lifting was getting the calories in. Um, and when I started, I was just looking up, on the computer, on the internet, articles on how to eat to gain muscle and things like that. So naturally, I kind of fell into more of a bodybuilding type of diet and nutrition plan. So tons of eggs, tons of carbs and meat and everything, like things I just wasn't used to eating. I was eating, I'm not even joking, like ramen noodles, hot pockets. Those were like my daily foods that I love to eat, other than what my mom made for dinner. Like those were the things that I was eating. Hot
Mhm.
pockets, my favorite. Ramen, my favorite.
Yep.
Um, Sometimes I still enjoy them today, but
Yep.
they don't really get the job done when you're trying to maintain, the level of leanness and fitness that I have
Yeah.
now that I like to have. So by far the hardest thing for me, still remains true, is eating enough calories to maintain my weight. And then, I mean, even beyond that, if I do want to try and put on more significant muscle mass, it's very tough. I'm
Yeah.
not a naturally hungry person.
All right.
So for me to eat all those whole foods and hit the macros and hit the calories is very hard for me.
Got you. Yeah, and that's seems like a less common problem in America, but a problem
Definitely.
alas, and
Yeah.
there's still a lot of people who struggle with that. Now, coming from someone who has the opposite problem, who has an overeating problem, I'm always hungry, and a lot of the viewers are probably in the same boat. Probably a lot of our clients are in the same boat. Being someone on the other side, do you ever feel like your struggles get invalidated because so many people are like, dude, I wish I had that problem?
I wouldn't say invalidated. I do understand where people are like, "Yeah, dude, your problems are so hard." Um, but the biggest thing for me sometimes is that I feel like in some ways like unqualified because I didn't come from where they came from. I don't have experience in what they're dealing with and what they
Mm,
may have been dealing with for their entire lives. Although I know the information, I know the facts, and I know, a lot of the science around eating and nutrition for fitness and health. I almost feel like a fraud in some cases.
imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome, yeah, just because I didn't deal with those problems. I can try my best to empathize, but I never experienced it firsthand.
Sure. Yeah,
So that could
there's
be a little bit of something that I deal with on occasion.
that's interesting. That's something I would have never thought of. Yeah, there's definitely a psychological component to overeating and binge eating and stuff like that. But uh, I would say, coming from someone who used to be overweight, I think it's good to have a role model like you to show someone like me that hey, it's not about the specifics per se. It's about just changing some lifestyle habits, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you
Yeah.
preach to your clients the same stuff. Walk more, get more steps in per day, lift weights a few days a week, and have a generally good diet. Like, you don't have to be overweight to know that you got to do those
Right.
things. But yes,
Yeah.
there are some psychological components that maybe you won't understand. But at the end of the day, that imposter syndrome can be strong. But I think you're doing a heck of a job.
Thank you. Thanks.
Um, so I wanted to ask you what is what is one or two foods specifically that helped you gain weight back in the day when you were first starting out? Because I know you said eggs and meat, but do you have any specific like meals that you used to eat?
Oh no, dude, it was eggs. I used to eat like 10 whole eggs a day.
Holy shit! Yeah.
And I did that for years. These days now I'm more like five, and sometimes it's only three with some egg whites. Um, But yeah, I was eating 10 eggs a day, 5 eggs twice a day.
Yeah.
And, the normal chicken, rice, broccoli. I didn't mix in a ton of beef and red meat back then when I started until I realized that like beef tastes way better than chicken. Um, and So it was pretty boring. Yeah. I mean, obviously the protein shakes, I believe that I did utilize a mass gainer shake when I first started because I just wanted to put that weight on. I mean, I would take my weight every single day and write it down to a piece of paper taped on the wall.
Wow.
Just to see the changes, and
Yeah.
I don't have them anymore, but you can see like starting somewhere around 150, a little over 150, all the way up to like 175, which is pretty much where I still maintain today.
That's awesome. Nice, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but eggs were the biggest one for me.
Eggs.
Highly nutritious too. I mean,
Yeah.
in terms of one of the most perfect foods that you can find in nature, an egg might be it.
I agree. It's hard to have that type of profile. Now for fat loss clients, I tell them eggs are great. They're so good for you. A little high in fat,
Mm,
of course. You know that could get
a
out of
bit,
hand, but
yeah.
um, I'm pretty sure eggs have every single micronutrient that your body needs except for vitamin C.
Mhm.
Um, if you have like 6 eggs a day, that almost maxes out your entire daily micronutrient profile, which is insane. Like that's
It's
insane.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get some protein from the egg white as well. So yeah, no egg.
Right.
Basically, long story short, I agree. Eggs are freaking awesome.
And they're not unethical for all
True.
the vegans and vegetarians out there. Chickens lay eggs no matter what,
That's true.
whether
They do.
whether there's a rooster in there or not. Chickens lay eggs.
But I think their argument is what the potential of what the egg could be if we didn't eat
If
it.
there's a male rooster in with the chickens, then yes. But if there's no rooster to
Oh,
inseminate the egg, it's never going to become a baby. So chickens lay
interesting.
eggs no matter what.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Fun fact.
All vegans should eat eggs because they're extremely good for you and healthy. And like you said, the profile, it's
Yeah,
not unethical. They're going to lay them no matter what.
I actually agree. That's interesting. I learned something new today. All right, that's cool. Okay. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about how and why you became a trainer because, a lot of people go through fitness journeys and get their life on track and either gain weight and build muscle or lose weight and build muscle. And a lot of people just kind of go about their life. But some of us, you and I specifically, and some others obviously, decide we want to help other people do the same. For
Mhm.
me, it was a deep feeling of wanting to help others because I know how much it sucks to be overweight. And I know that when I was overweight, deep down I knew I could change. I just didn't have the guidance. So I want to be that person for other people. So
Mhm.
that's kind of where I'm coming from. But I wanted to ask you, what made you want to start helping other people instead of just training yourself and, not worrying about other people's problems or whatever?
Well, when I was working in the various gyms I worked in, I always thought that I wanted to go more towards like the management or ownership side of a gym, um, and I slowly learned through becoming a manager and having to managing people is a hard job as it is. It's not really my type of job for my personality. And then hearing other successful people in the fitness industry talk about what are the realistics of owning a gym. A lot of them say that it's very difficult. You don't make a ton of money. There's a lot of overhead and insurance costs. So that sort of helped me push towards the side of, well, I love working in gyms. I don't ever want to stop working in fitness. And at the time, after a certain amount of time, I felt confident that I could help people with the knowledge that I now had. I had been putting it into practice for years and years at that point, and seeing the results for myself, talking to a lot of other trainers, meeting a lot of other trainers within the gyms that I worked in. Um, and I guess I just took some years to gain the confidence that I could share this knowledge and help other people. So it was kind of a combination of those two things of realizing that managing slash owning a gym probably wasn't the thing that I wanted to go into. And then also just throughout the years, gaining the knowledge and the confidence to be able to give that to other people and put them on a better path and help them out.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people out there that need a lot of guidance, and you're definitely
Mm,
helping make the world a better place. So, I mean, I really
right.
respect that. I mean, obviously, I respect every personal trainer in the world, but we have a pretty tight knit community at ATR, and I really respect everyone there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so, obviously, you've been coaching for a while now. I want to ask you, what separates clients who are successful in their weight loss or weight gain journey, and what separates clients who end up quitting and kind of just stopping?
For me, it's as simple as the ones that are successful learn to really enjoy it. They want to come to the gym. They're excited. They get into the a little bit of the nitty gritty. They're asking questions about exercises. They're asking questions about well, should I switch up my routine? Like, what if we switched into this sort of routine rather than this split? Um, they're thinking about the gym outside of the gym.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just
Mm,
coming in and taking instruction, but they're thinking about that part of their life when they're not in the gym for that hour.
yeah,
I
that's a
think that's
banger.
it. Yeah,
I, I don't have anything to add. That you literally said it perfectly. That is
right.
awesome.
Because it's just about building it into your lifestyle. So if you come to the gym with your trainer 3 days a week for 3 hours total, and that's the only time you think about the gym, then it's probably likely that you're not really that into it. You're doing it more as something that you feel like you have to do, or you're being forced to do, or told
Yep.
to do by somebody else, whether it's
Right.
your doctor, your spouse, whatever.
Right.
When you start to really think about it outside the gym and how you can improve or what we could tweak, whether or not their thought is correct, then you're really starting to get into enjoying it and liking it and maybe even loving it. So that separates your success. When you really enjoy doing something, you're probably going to be much more successful at it than if you look at it as something you have to do as a chore almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The key is curiosity. Once you're curious
Mm-hmm.
about something, that tells me that you genuinely want to change, which is
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. Now, just to wrap this up, I know you got to get going. We're gonna do a quick rapid fire round. All right, I'm just gonna ask you some
Okay.
quick questions. You're gonna answer with like one, two, or three words. All right, you ready?
Yeah. Let's
All
go.
right. What's your favorite muscle group to train?
Arms.
What's your favorite exercise to do?
Hmm. Incline dumbbell bench press.
Good choice. What is the most overrated exercise that you see a lot of people still doing?
Oh, overrated. Uh, Overrated for what results?
Overrated, where people think they're getting something out of it, but they're really not getting much out of it.
Hmm. I'm not sure, man. I think most of the pieces we have in our gym serve a pretty good
That's true.
purpose.
That's true.
Um, I don't know. What is it for you?
I'm I'm thinking something like decline bench press. I know I'm about to get some hate for that.
Oh,
Decline
decline
bench press.
bench. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of people doing that anymore. But yeah, that one is kind of. It's always been like the background kind of
Yeah.
chest press
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
you know,
Uh
decline chest press machine is probably better than doing it with dumbbells, maybe.
machine's probably better. Here's another one. Lat pullover on the cable machine. That's my hot take.
Lat pullover on the cable machine.
Because that lat
Huh.
pullover on the cable machine is more of a lower pec movement, but people don't really know that.
Uh, I see that. I use that one once in a while. But
Yeah.
it's a hard movement, first of all. If you
Right.
are really trying to
If
get your lats isolated, it
yeah,
is a tough one, and there's probably better options.
it's tough. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back to that one. Now, most underrated exercise that you don't see enough people doing.
Just good squats. Good
Nice.
full range of motion squats. Not
Yeah.
being afraid of them.
Yeah. Me.
Um,
I'm afraid of them.
Learning. Yeah, but when you do, you're strong
Yeah, I know. Just
and
kidding.
good at them. But you have different goals. But I
Yeah.
think that probably the best overall exercise that you can do for your body is probably a nice deep squat,
Nice.
or to the best of your ability if you have limitations.
Right.
But you being able to support your weight all the way down close to the floor and back up is probably one of the most beneficial. I don't know if it's underrated though.
Yeah.
It's not
Right. Yeah,
underrated
that's
at
true.
all.
That's true.
I don't see a lot of people doing it because they're hard to do.
Yeah. Fair
Like
enough.
more people should be trying to work their way to getting under a barbell, or at least work their way with like a goblet front type squat,
Yep.
heavier.
Yeah.
But they're hard,
Nice. That's a good one.
and people are scared that they're going to fall on their butt.
I know that's a big worry, and
Yeah,
that's why we're here to help them.
yeah.
Okay. Biggest fitness myth you hear all the time that you can't stand.
Oh, the biggest myth. Um, Probably specific rep ranges to get you stronger and jacked.
Love it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not how many reps. It's
yeah.
about the stimulus.
The
Yeah,
the intensity, how close to
yeah,
failure. Completely
yeah.
agree. All right. Two more questions. What is your favorite food? If you could only pick one dinner to have like for the rest of your life, and you can't have anything else for dinner, what
Healthy
would it
or
be?
unhealthy?
Anything.
Oh, anything? Um, Man, I think it would just be probably pizza. Pizza's always good no matter what.
So
Even if it
versatile.
sucks, it's good.
Yeah. Awesome. All
Yeah.
right. And last question. If someone is just starting their fitness journey tomorrow, what's the one piece of advice you'd give them?
Be consistent. Just be consistent. Make it a habit. Consistency forms habits. Habits form progress,
Mm-hmm.
and the habits form lifestyle changes, which will form progress.
100%.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. That's all I had for you. I really appreciate you coming on. I think it's really cool for people to hear different stories because on my
Yeah.
page, I always talk about, going from fat to fit, but there's a whole other world out there where people go from like skinny to fit, and, those people need guidance too. Um,
Yeah. Absolutely.
so before we wrap up, where can people find you or reach out if they want to work with you or ask you a few questions?
Oh man, unfortunately, I am the worst at social media. I think I do have a Instagram page, but I don't post on it. I don't look at it. I am terrible for myself as a business person. But you can contact us through ATR Fitness website if you were really interested, and you can find. I think you can find emails on there, and bios about us trainers on there. But if somebody was really interested in getting in touch with me, you can go through the ATR Fitness website.
Awesome. Awesome, man. You got any
Yeah.
last words before you go train your next client?
Um, no, just I appreciate you having me on, man. It's really fun. I'm always willing to come on and just talk fitness with you because I don't get to talk this in depth about it every day with my clients. It's usually part therapy session, part instruction. So
Yeah.
a lot of times it can be like that. So
Yeah.
being able to sit down and talk with somebody just specifically deep dive on different fitness topics is always fun.
I love it, man. Well, I'll have to have you on again. This was fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Anytime.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Thanks for coming on. Have a good day. If anyone actually watched this all the way to the end and you're watching me say these words right now, you're the GOAT. Comment the word Zach because he's the GOAT. Uh, and yeah, stay consistent. Have a good day. Later.
Thanks.